There we go. Connecting.
All right. There we go.
Yay. I know it's a little stressful getting everybody connected, so I appreciate you.
Especially those of us who are challenged.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So welcome to everybody. This is Mary Buckey, and she lives in Jackson. They used to live in Starkville, so I used to see her a lot more. So I don't. So I miss seeing her. So Mary, let's. Well, I was going to tell everybody. Mary sent me a video of your studio the other day. So I'll post that later today. And as we talk, I might flip my camera around and show some people some close-ups of your art. Of course, it's behind me here. And then I think Mary's got one of her pieces behind her as well. So so let's get started and get going and asking you some questions.
Okay, go.
So the first one is, how did you become an artist? Tell us your personal journey.
Okay. Well, since I'm 67, that may take a minute, but we're going to start at about 40.
Sorry that.
But anyway, I really did not start painting until in my 40s. I was always into music. I majored in music, and that was kind of my thing, church music. And then later in life, actually, it was when I was sitting with my mother, who was very ill. And I kind of was looking for something to do with my hands. And she said, why don't you get one of these books and try it? And so she began to kind of work with me. I would do a lesson and she would help me because she was an art teacher. And she was Ann Parker. She was an artist at Brown's before she passed away. So anyway, we just had some good time there, really at her bedside, or if she was on the couch or wherever. She was in my house for hospice. And so we had some good times like that. And it just kind of took off.
Yeah.
And I can remember one thing that the artists who are joining would like to listen to this. She was in a bed, and there was a painting at the foot of the bed that she had done on the wall that she was looking at. And right at the end of her life, she kind of motioned to me to come to her. She wanted to tell me something. I thought, well, this will be profound. This will be some spirit. Said, I need to put some more white in the bottom left corner of that painting. This was like a day before she passed. So anyway,
Yeah.
Always true to wanting to make her art better. So anyway, it just kind of took off, and I kind of taught myself from there.
Yeah. You know, one of my good friends is your niece,
Amy.
And
I don't know.
what now?
I didn't know if we say names. I shouldn't have said her name.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I've blocked it. I didn't hear the whole thing. But anyway,
Okay.
Amy is one of my good friends, and some of your artwork and your mother's artwork in her house. You know, when I've been over there before, I'll say, well, is this Mary's or your grandmother? She said, well, I have a lot of my grandmothers, but I definitely have some of Mary's too. And I think that's a great compliment that your family will hang up your art as well.
Yeah. Very nice. Yes.
That's sweet. Okay, so let's go to the next question. And I'm going to ask both these questions together because it seems more appropriate instead of dividing them out like I have on my sheet.
Okay.
So, what is your primary medium, and combined with your favorite imagery or subject matter?
Okay. Primary medium is acrylic and on stretched canvas. Mm-hmm. And most of the time my subject matter is floral or landscapes.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been experimenting with some alcohol inks.
Yeah, well, let me turn my screen around so everybody can see it, because I have one on the wall. So give me a second. And let me flip around here. All right. So tell us about this.
Okay. This is, it's a new technique. You can see it all over YouTube, and a lot of people are doing it. It's really fun because it's some instant gratification. It doesn't take long, and it's very fluid. If you want to just break out of, I had read somewhere, if you want to break out of an artist block, do something entirely different. And I was kind of in that. And so I started experimenting with it. And I love the ethereal kind of look of it.
Yeah.
And just the fluidity of it, transparency. So you do it with alcohol inks, and your medium is alcohol.
Okay.
use a hair dryer or a heat gun to blow it around on the Yupo paper, which is
yeah. So what kind of paper is that?
it's Yupo, Y-U-P-O.
Okay. Okay.
You can use photo paper, but it's not. The Yupo is thicker.
Okay. And you know, we've talked about trying to do it on, you do it on canvases so we don't have to frame. And like, I think this right here is on like a just a raised wood or something. I can't remember what you called it.
I think it's Yupo, but it's block. It has a blocked frame around it.
Okay.
Normally Yupo, it comes in a board. I can do it on a big board.
Okay.
Very expensive, and then you frame it. And
Yeah.
so another technique you can use is to put primer on a canvas, gills, and that makes the canvas smoother. And we've done some of those. It's not as
Yeah, yeah. I like the paper. And I think people, let me switch. Oh, sorry. I think people have liked paper stuff lately. And so, see if I can sit down without falling. So anyway, I think it's been neat to have the availability of the paper.
yes.
And be smaller, a little more affordable, that kind of thing. So I think right now we have about 4 of the paper pieces. Well, like 2 like that, and then we've got 2 that are framed in a gold frame. And maybe before we finish, if I remember, I'll go. I'm not sure where it is, honestly. I'm redoing everything in here, and it is. I hope everybody didn't see that hot mess that I just showed on the screen.
But I love the way that you frame them, and they look really good in a series. Like you can put 3 together, or even I've seen 6 together, 6 squares, and that looks really cool.
Excuse me. That's just a dry, just verified dry cough.
Okay.
Okay. Another question I have for you is, what's it like trying to paint with family distractions? I know that you're an empty nester, but you have a husband who's very busy.
Yes.
Career, and that you support and encourage, and then you have children and grandchildren and maybe a great grandchild.
Yes.
As well. And so, you know, I know you've got several kids, and your kids have several kids, and you're a great mom. And so, how do you, especially because they don't live near you, and so being able to see them and balance all that out, how do you keep focused?
Well, since you know, just finding the rhythm of finding a time every day to kind of say, okay, this is my block of time where I'm going to get in the studio and do something. So I kind of have found that rhythm, and my kids are the grandkids are either not here close or older, and so I don't have a lot of underfoot.
Yeah.
Sad and not sad all at the same time.
Yeah.
But 6 of my grandchildren live in one house with my daughter Carrie in Tupelo, so that's really good. So I can find coming there to bring you paintings and so forth. So I don't have a lot of underfoot activity. They'll come for a day or a weekend, and so I can during the week I can do it. And Bill is very busy, so he doesn't really know what I'm doing, and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, Mary told me this morning that her husband has 6,000 followers on Facebook, and I was like,
yes.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, he does a daily devotional, and it's on Facebook. And Bill Buckley, you might enjoy it. He also does he kayaks every day, and he takes beautiful photographs. So oftentimes he'll put a photograph with a devotion, and it's just people are really enjoying it. So
yeah. Well, especially now, it's a great way to kind of have something to kind of center you and get you into your day. So I'll have to look at his photographs. I knew that he kayaked. And
yes.
Then of course I knew he leads the FCA for the state program, and then he told me he did the devotionals, but I had no idea photographs. So I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you might like it. He likes to get people to think. He'll kind of stir up some thoughts on his devotional and gets good conversations going. So
yeah,
good.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So your next question is, why do you paint, and why not another career? Even though you started it, later in life, what did you do before you started painting, and why did you really turn the corner and just do that full time?
Okay. Well, like I say, before I painted, I was really home with my kids until they started junior high, high school, and involved in church music leadership. And then once my mother passed, hospice meant so much to her and to us that I said, if I can jump in there, that would be something I'd like to do. So I got trained for that and was a hospice chaplain for several years, and also at the Baptist Hospital in oncology, hospice ministry. And so it was so rewarding. And also it kind of fueled my art because it gave me a place to kind of process some things that, it's not the easiest ministry in the world. And so it was a good outlet.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I didn't really know that part. I knew that you had done some stuff with the church and of course your kids and that kind of thing, but I had no idea that you helped with, you were hospice chaplain. I had no idea. And I'm going to go through. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's a beautiful ministry, and you asked me like why I paint, and really, I think the thing that I tell people most is that I like to be a reminder that there's something beautiful still in this world, and you can hang it on your wall, and it will remind you.
Right.
A lot of times people will say to me, "Why don't you paint angels or spiritual scenes and this and that?" And I said, beauty is spiritual to me. It reminds people of the beauty that's there that God's created. And so I love to do something that reminds people that there is beauty in the world.
Right. A lot of the times the customers that I have in here, the things that they're drawn to are those memory triggers of that, really stir a deep emotion in them that, that their spouse is like, why are you so drawn to that? Like, why are you so compassionate about that particular piece? And they go and tell the story to their spouse that they had not shared before. And it's so neat to kind of be a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And can I just say, you too, Kim, during this time, what you're doing is like your gallery is always a bridge between the art lover and the art. Now you're taking that a step further, that the art lover can connect to the artist. And it is even more meaningful if they get one of their pieces because they feel like they've connected, and you're providing that bridge for the art lover. And I think it's beautiful.
Well, I appreciate it. I had another artist who suggested these, and of course he was the first one, Adam Trest, and I deleted the interview. Anyway, but we're sure about that this morning. We're going to have him come at the end once we're all out of this hunker down. Anyway, quarantine. I'm going to come back to him and do an interview and talk about how artists handle. He doesn't know this yet. How artists handle being in quarantine and how they grew from that. So anyway, but talking about pieces that are people are drawn to and about your artwork, we chatted about something special you wanted to do today for people who were listening, and I'll post it on maybe some other stories and maybe add some comments and kind of get a little information out. But if you've listened this long, you will find out that Mary has agreed to sell one of her pieces that's $11.50 or less for half price. So you have to message me on Instagram or on Facebook, because I'm going to try to feed this up to Facebook too if there's time. I don't know